welcome. This is Once Upon a Time in Las Vegas, the rise of the greatest American sports betting show in the world. I'm your host, Rocky Foré. Thanks for watching. We're excited for week 2. Steamroller, how you doing?
Doing good, buddy. Doing good. Week 1 in the books. Had a great time. I know you had to be excited about the Seattle game on Monday night, right?
I had a great time watching it. I ate so many nachos, slept through the third quarter, same with Geno Smith, but loved the fourth quarter.
Now, Rocky, you said you did that last week. Is that kind of the way you watch football? You watch the game, eat a giant plate of nachos, and then fall asleep in the third quarter?
Yeah, that's not how you do it?
That's not how I do it, but sure. That's certainly if it works for you, my friend, and it worked for Seattle. You didn't miss anything. I got to tell you, you fell asleep in the third quarter. You missed nothing. You missed a field goal in the second half. So,
yeah, I will say, Steehn, do you remember what I said about Geno Smith last week?
I do not. You say a lot of things.
I said 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception.
That's right. And how did he do? How did you match up? You said, what did you say, 212 yards?
No, 212 yards is how much Allen Lazard was going to get.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. That you missed that a little bit.
Yeah, he got 0 because he didn't play.
He did not.
Geno Smith was what? 195, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. So
yeah, he really played well.
It seems like I'm getting the hang of this show.
It's week 2, and it's time to take a look back at week 1. The drama, the intrigue, the injuries, the winners, the whiners, the next level intersection of plug and segue, all about to go down on this week's episode of As the Laces Turn, presented by Winners and Whiners. Week 1 announced itself with a slew of close games that weren't decided until late in the fourth quarter, overtime, or, in the case of the Colts Texans, weren't decided at all. Let's take a look at some of those close games. Not that one. Nope. Seriously? That's better. Steelers got off to an early lead on the defending AFC champs, but the Bengals rallied and Chase made a tremendous OBJ-like catch with 22 seconds left to tie the game, except he didn't. But then he did, and then Money McPherson came in to give Cincy the win, except he didn't. And it went to overtime, and the Steelers had a chance to win it with a field goal from Chris Bosworth. The Colts hadn't won a season opener since 2013. They fell behind 20-3 to the Texans before Matty Ice rallied the troops to tie the game at the end of regulation. They had a chance to win it, but Rodrigo Rick Vaughn Blankenship pushed the potential game winner wide right, and the Colts still haven't won an opening day since 2013. Blankenship, whose dad is Jewish and his mom Brazilian, was seen in the locker room drowning his sorrows in a big plate of corned beef empanadas. And speaking of opening day futility, the Browns have won just one time on opening day following their 1999 resurrection, and they haven't done it at all since 2004. Cleveland was poised to break through as they dominated the Panthers for 3.5 quarters, only to watch Baker Mayfield rally his new team to take a late lead with 1:16 left. But, as any smart football person will tell you, you just can't leave that much time on the clock for Jacoby Brissett. The expatriate Dolphin Colts heroically led his team on a 6-play, 25-yard drive that was slightly aided by a 15-yard PI call against the Panthers. That set up Cade York from LSU, who was the only kicker drafted this spring, to nail a 56-yarder for the win. After the game, Mayfield said it was no big deal, and there's 16 more games to play. Carolina fans said, yeah, we know. Please don't remind us. In other news, Patrick Mahomes went 30 for 39 for 360 yards, 5 TDs, and no picks. He then took time to remind the world how many interceptions Josh Allen threw on Thursday night. Aaron Rodgers' Packers put up 7 points against the Vikes, and then he proceeded to blame everybody but Jake from State Farm. And finally, the new Tua took the field with his new weapons. Tyreek Hill said Tua had the strongest arm he'd ever seen. Let's see how that went. Wow, he really does remind you of a left-handed Patrick Mahomes. What a cannon! And that's going to do it for this week on As the Laces Turn. Check back next week as we talk about week 2 and do our best to make fun of your favorite player. Take care, everybody. Hey guys, I'm Scott the Steamroller Steehn with winnersandwhiners.com. I want to thank everybody, first of all, for stopping by, checking out the show. It's a new spin on a handicapping show, and I hope you enjoy it. And I also want to remind you that even though we have a lot of fun along the way and we really go for the laughs, at its core, this is a serious prediction show with some of the best handicappers in the world giving out their favorite picks from every NFL game on the sheet for this week. And remember, Winners and Whiners, we're all about the picks. At our website, you're not going to find a bunch of filler. You're not going to find news or trade rumors, polls, pictures of the players on vacation. None of that. What you will find is the preeminent site for picks and predictions on every game, every day. And here's the deal. As a special thank you, we are offering 50% off of all of our premium picks at winnersandwhiners.com all weekend long. College, pros, crunch time in Major League Baseball. Pick your favorite capper. Pick the amount of time that works for you, be it a week, a day, a month, or maybe even want the whole football season. We've got a package tailor-made for you. All of those are 50% off. You will get that discount instantly when you put in the code OUTIV 50% off, or excuse me, 50 off, OUTIV 50 OFF, and that will cover all the packages. There are no minimums, no maximums. If you want to get more than one, that's fine. Just put that code in and you're all set. Again, thanks for watching. And now, on with the show. We're going to bring on a couple of cappers. One of them you know from last week. He did very well. As we say, we like to ride the hot hand, and nobody was hotter than this guy. All the way from Houston, Texas. Once again, it's David Delano. David, what's up, buddy?
What's going on, Scott? Glad to be back this week.
Good to have you. You're the reigning champion. You went 9-6-1 as everybody pushed on the Carolina-Cleveland game. But other than that, you had a fine week. What do you attribute your success to, sir?
A lot of time on it, a lot of obsession with it, a lot of sacrifice. No, just been preparing for this for a while. With the experience, like I said, every week it's not gonna happen necessarily that way, but thought outside the box a little bit. Went 4-1 on my premium plays over there at Winners and Whiners, and looking forward to having another good week.
That's fantastic, my friend. Very, very good week. How many nachos do you eat? Because apparently that's the key. Do you eat a lot of nachos?
I don't eat a whole lot of nachos, so that's not the formula necessarily for me.
There you go. Well, speaking of a guy that's no stranger to nachos, he's coming from God's country up there in rural Washington State. The one, the only, the king of the sweater vest. It's Loud Esmond. What's up, Loud?
Oh, how are you? Glad to be here, and looking forward to doing better this week than I did last week. On my premium picks, I was at about 50%, so nobody lost any real money if they were following me, but I'm going to do better this week.
So we will, next week, we're going to have the guys from the Just Parlays show on. Chris King will be here, and Scott Reichel will be joining us as well. But this week, we've got these cats. So don't forget, if you guys want to get anybody's premium picks over at Winners and Whiners, we've got a very special deal lined up for everybody that wants the show. It is going to be a 50% discount, and you simply need to plug in the code. And I'm going to check the code here for you. OUTIV 50 OFF. So it's out IV 50 off. And if you can't remember that, you don't have to write it down because we'll put it in the show description along with the link that'll take you right there. So I know I'm excited to get going on week 2. Got a lot of great picks lined up for this week. And just like Loud, we're going to do a little bit better. We had a positive week on the premium side. But as far as the picks from this show, not so much. Not so much at all. So with that being said, everybody ready to get rolling? Rocky, you ready?
I'm about as ready as Dak Prescott next week.
Woo! Can you give me a thumbs up, Rock? Sorry, I didn't mean to torture you there, buddy.
You don't have a hard time with ligaments.
All right, let's get rocking and rolling here. Start off with a Thursday night game between the Kansas City Chiefs and this. I almost did it. Almost
San Diego Chargers.
Almost it's San Diego Chargers. No, I have to put $1 in the swear jar every time I say San Diego Chargers. However, it's the Los Angeles Chargers. They're coming to town against the Chiefs. Chiefs 4.5 point favorites. Total on that game is currently sitting at 54.5. Guys, I don't know about you, but that Kansas City Chiefs offense looked absolutely unstoppable. The LA defense, I'm not sure they've solved their problem, especially against the run. Josh Jacobs, he's carried 10 times for 57 yards. Kansas City, well, they did well, averaged 4.7 yards per carry. However, you take away the one ill-fated wide receiver end around and Mahomes runs, the running backs average 5.8 yards per carry. I think the Chiefs will be able to get it done however they want to. The defense certainly looked good enough against the Arizona Cardinals. I expect the Chargers do a little bit better, but the Chiefs, they'll still cover this number.
Yeah, I'm with you there. You and I talked about this earlier in the week, and when we did a little week in review that posted up to the site on Monday, and I love the early lines. As you said, I got this at -3. I still love it at -4.5. Like you said, the offense of the Chiefs looked unstoppable. The Chargers had to hang on to beat the Raiders, and the reason that they got so many turnovers is they had so much pressure on Derek Carr. The Raiders' offensive line is not nearly as good as Kansas City's. They're not going to get that kind of pressure on Mahomes, and I think they're just going to get lit up. They'll score some points, but they're not going to keep up with Kansas City. So that's why I like it even now at -4.5.
I'm on board with you guys. I like the Chiefs here at 4.5 as well. Last week I was hesitant with some of the road favorites, but the Chiefs are one of those teams that right now, the way that they're playing, some of the rules just don't apply to them. The Chiefs right now, they're 6-2 against the spread in their last 8 games against teams with winning records, where the Chargers are just 1-4 in their last 5 against winning teams. Keenan Allen possibly out here for the Chargers. I'm going to go with the Chiefs as well to keep on rolling.
Yeah, I got to go with the Chiefs as well. Personally, I don't trust anybody that claims they're from Los Angeles but lives in Irvine. And I they're closer to San Diego still than Los Angeles, so they're liars.
All right,
Chiefs
check
will
it
be
in
over.
with another solid logic backed up by backing up that pick. Very nicely done, Rocky.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Next game on the board. We're looking at the Sunday games now. The Dolphins traveling up to Charm City, take on the Ravens. Ravens 3.5-point favorites. Total on this game 43.5. By the way, we talked about the dogs last weekend. They went 9-6-1 against the spread, and 6 of those 9 dogs won the game outright. And the reason I bring that up because I think this is going to be another dog situation. Miami, a team that just did not run the ball well at all against the Patriots. 23 carries, 65 yards. But the Jets, well, they were able to have some success as they rushed for almost 5 yards a carry against the Ravens. I look for the Dolphins running game to do a little bit better. And the Jets, I think, would have had success had they continued to run. But they panicked and they abandoned the run too early, as is evidenced by Flacco throwing the ball 59 times. The Miami defense was probably the most surprising and impressive part for me. They looked very good as they gave up just two plays over 17 yards against the Patriots and held Mac Jones to a 9.7 QBR. I look for the upset special here as the Dolphins go into Charm City and take care of business. Give me the Dolphins plus the 3.5.
You know, by the way, Joe Flacco set a very unique record in that game. Everybody may not know this, but it's the first time that an NFL quarterback threw exactly as many passes as how old he looked. So just going to throw that out there for everybody. I'm going to go the opposite way. The Ravens started slow against the Jets, and it was the Jets, but Lamar Jackson hadn't played at all in the preseason. He started to look better towards the end of the game as he sort of got his feet underneath him. I'm not ready to trust the Dolphins on the road against a likely playoff team with a good defense and a superstar quarterback. So I'm going to have to go with the Ravens. I want to buy that hook down, and I like the Ravens -3.
I'm with Steamroller here. I like the hook right where it is. I agree with you with the Dolphins at plus 3.5. The Ravens was not real impressed with their offense. I understand what you're saying, Loud, as far as one game for Lamar, but I'm not sure that it's all just going to click in this second game against this Dolphins defense, which looked good against a much better Patriots team than the Jets are. Not playing the Jets this week. I like the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins can win this game outright. So plus 3.5 is a gift for me. It's Miami Dolphins.
I got to go with the Dolphins too. I have a letter here to read. It says, "Dear Rocky Foré, we received your mascot audition and your 86 follow-up emails. We kindly request that you stop contacting us and never mention yourself as the Ravens mascot ever again. Signed, John Harbaugh and the Ravens organization." I'm going with the Dolphins, and I'm just really sad now that I got that letter.
Darn it, Rocky. I really thought you had a shot there. That's a real shocker and a real heartbreaker. We'll try to soldier on in the face of that bad news. I don't know how I'll be able to go about the rest of my day, but I'm going to give it a shot. Hey, it's the Browns at home, giving up 6 points to the New York Football Jets. 40 is the total in that game. You know, the Jets did surprisingly well against the Ravens rush, giving up just 3 yards per carry, 21 for 63. However, I'm kind of curious to see how they do against the two-headed beast that is the Browns rushing attack. I'm going to guess they take a step backwards. And the main part of this game for me, I'm fading the Jets until further notice. Prove to me that you're not going to Jets every week, and then I'll start backing you. Until I see that, I'm fading the Jets. Give me the Browns minus the 6.
Yeah, I'm with you there. The Jets just looked absolutely horrible. Their quarterback, Joe Flacco, I'm sorry. I don't think he belongs on the field anymore. He looked awful. And the coaching is terrible. They were doing very well running the ball. They have an ancient quarterback, and they went away from running the ball and asked the quarterback to throw the ball 59 times. As long as you're going to combine bad players at key positions with bad coaching, there's no way I'm taking you on the road at all. The Browns didn't look fantastic, but they are way better than the Jets. So that's why I'm taking the Browns minus the 6.5.
Taking the Browns in an opener minus 6.5. It doesn't feel good, but the Jets are just that bad that I have to go ahead and take the New York Jets to get beat by the Browns by at least 7 points in here. Even though the Browns looked a little shaky, I'm not sure how well Jacoby Brissett is going to hold up. Nick Chubb right now, second all-time in rushing yards per carry. They can run the ball 80% of the time if they want to, as long as Kevin Stefanski does not overthink this. The Browns should just run the ball, kick field goals when they're there, and play defense. For Joe Flacco to throw the ball 59 times, and the Jets still could not even score 10 points. I think the Jets their coaching is going to mess it up. Joe Flacco is going to go to the air too much. The Browns are going to create some turnovers. It's always tough as the Browns don't usually cover as a home favorite, but I think the Jets are that bad. I'm taking the Browns.
I got the Jets with the over. These are the kind of games the Browns lose, which is all of them.
It is. These are the types of games the Browns lose.
That was surprisingly insightful there, Rocky.
An unstoppable force meets an improbable object. The improbable is the Browns winning a game like this. The unstoppable force is Joe Flacco's return. I'm going with the Jets.
Remember last week we talked about sometimes less is more. That'd be a good example of it right there.
Okay.
All right, let's head to Motown. The Detroit Lions take on the Washington Commanders. Lions 2.5-point favorites, and 49 is your total right there. You know, Jacksonville played the Commanders in week 1. They averaged 7.5 yards per carry against this Washington defense. And now they play a team that has a real running back, probably top 5 running back in the NFL, in DeAndre Swift. Swift was fantastic against this Eagles, just 14 carries, but 144 yards. The Lions, they did what they always do, fall behind by double digits, and then mount a furious comeback that has no chance of succeeding for the win, but getting the cover. I think the Lions, they play down to they find somebody at their level this time and think they actually get the win and the cover. Give me Detroit minus 2.5.
I love the Lions coach. I love the new Lions team. They are super fun to watch. And it's so hard to back them to win and cover because they have such a history of covering but not winning. And so it puts me in a really awkward position because it seems really unnatural to back the Lions. Does anybody remember the last time the Lions were favored? I don't.
Probably been a minute. Probably the last time they played the Bears.
So the Lions favored is very difficult for me, but I don't trust the Commanders at all. And that stat about how much they gave up running to the Jaguars, it may be 10 yards of carry with the Lions. They've got one of the best offensive lines in football. They have a fantastic running back. Again, if the coaching decision is right, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, I think the Lions are too much for the Commanders. I like the Lions too, -2.5, although I would have loved getting it earlier in the week at -1.
As crazy as it sounds, well, maybe not as crazy because it worked out. But the Lions were actually my best bet last week because, as you guys have already said, the Lions are great. And I said on the show last week at coming back, even though they lose the game. It's a little scary now where the Lions actually have to win the game to cover. But somebody does have to win this. Well, I guess somebody doesn't have to win because we did have a tie last week. But I am going to go with the Lions here to get it done, solely based on that running game. DeAndre Swift, 144 yards on 15 carries, and the Jaguars really just ran through the Commanders. So I think that the Lions are going to cover. But what I really like in this game is the over, because the Lions were also just shredded through the air and through the ground by the Eagles. The Lions actually gave up, out of the 38 points that the Lions gave up, or the points they gave up, they were all in either the second or the third quarter. So there's going to be some points in this one at 49.5. I'm going to go with the Lions, but my favorite play on this game is actually over the total, as I don't see either team really stopping the other one.
I'm going with the Lions. I think Jamal Williams is a funny guy. So you know what? A team with a guy like that on the team, they can't do too bad, right?
Sure, absolutely. It sounds like an absolute recipe for success.
You got to have more comedians on a team, I think. You know? Why not? Everyone will laugh, have a good time.
Right?
Every team needs a Gronk.
Camaraderie. Every team needs there you go. Every team needs a Gronk. Just a Levi's wearing big guy who makes you laugh.
All right, fair enough. You got the Lions right there.
Yeah, and you know what? We're going to take a break, get away from our sponsors, see how we're able to fund this crazy show. Enjoy it. We'll be right back. Oh. I bet Patrick Mahomes' milk never goes bad. Put a little ketchup on it. Come on. Oh, come on, baby. You got this. Put a little ketchup on it. Hey, nothing a little ketchup can't fix. No. Put some ketchup on it.
What's going on out here? Get away from my baby.
Oh, there's so much blood. Oh, God. Oh, there's so much blood.
Hey, Rock, last week you were a little late for your fantasy draft, if I recall correctly. In fact, they auto-drafted your first pick, and you got Mason Crosby.
Oh, yeah, I love Mason Crosby.
Rocky, I got to admit, I'm kind of surprised you know who Mason Crosby is.
Are you kidding me? Mason Walker Crosby, born September 3rd, 1984, Fort Collins, Colorado. He's a Virgo, means he's ambitious and goal-driven. Or should I say, field goal-driven. What was that? Matt, did you hear that? Is there a ghost drummer? Keith? John? Any other
Rocky.
drummers?
Rocky. It wasn't a ghost drummer. Focus, buddy. What
All right.
happened with your fantasy team? Who else did you draft?
Oh, it was easy, Steehn. I was like, Rockster, who's the best team in the NFL? Who won the Super Bowl?
The Rams?
There you go. So I drafted a bunch of Rams. Matt Stafford, Allen Robinson, Clay Aiken, Tyler Higbee.
Wait. Did you say Clay Aiken?
Yes, I did.
The guy from American Idol?
Yeah, he's the best.
Rocky, I don't think you drafted Clay Aiken. I think you actually drafted Cam Akers. That's the running back for the Rams.
He was a running back, a professional running back. Why did he get 0 points? That seems more like a Clay Aiken thing to do.
You know what, buddy? I can't. You got me there. I can't argue with that. But hey, how'd the rest of your team do?
Oh, well, those other 4 guys were projected 51 points.
And?
18.9.
Ooh, yikes.
Yeah, not good. But I am trying to make a trade in my league with this one guy. I'm trying to get David Cook and Chris Allen from him.
Buddy, I'm pretty sure those are American Idol winners. Any chance that you meant Dalvin Cook and Josh Allen?
No, I'm pretty sure those guys are the American Idol winners.
No, Rocky. They've pretty much been just concentrating on football. I don't think Dalvin Cook or Josh Allen won American Idol.
I guess Simon Cowell's really lost his touch turning people into stars.
Apparently not much of a recruiter, Rock. But you know what? Do me a favor. We're all anxious to hear how this goes. Keep us posted on the old Rocky fantasy team, would you?
You bet.
Welcome back, everybody. You can't unsee some of that stuff, right? Just seriously, put a little ketchup on it. All right, we're going to get ready and take off on our second block of 4 right here, starting with the Indianapolis Colts -4 over the Jaguars. Another battle of the AFC South. What a pillow fight. You know, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they had 0 pass rush. On the other hand, the Colts, well, they were outplayed by the Texans almost all day long until they woke up there at the end to get the tie. I think what they're going to do is they're going to pound Jonathan Taylor in this one early and often. I don't love it, but I think the Colts sneak out the win and the late cover. Give me the Colts -4.
This game is one that I'm not super confident on because neither team looked really very good in playing. I mean, like you said, the Colts kind of played down to the Texans. The Jaguars, well, they lost. They're the Jaguars. So I'm going to go the over here. It's 45.5. If the Colts score 28, 31 points, which I expect, because Matt Ryan's going to be better, they're going to be smart, they're going to run the ball, they can run the ball, you can run the ball on the Jags, then Jaguars, you know, they get a couple of junk time scores when they're already down a bunch of points, and I think we get a late cover on the over 45.5. So on this game, I'm Colts, Jaguars combined for over 45.5 points.
Well, go looking at this game, I know some of the faces have changed over time, but the Colts have failed to cover in their last 7 trips to Jacksonville, which included the trip that cost them the playoffs last year. And you take out Carson Wentz, you put in Matt Ryan. Last week, against the Texans, the Colts only scored 3 points in the first 3 quarters of that game. The Texans were up 20-3. It ended up tying. The Texans didn't have a run longer than 8 yards in that entire game. The way the Jacksonville Jaguars ran the ball in week 1, yeah, the Colts are going to be able to run the ball, but so are the Jags. +4.5. I'm not so sure that the Colts are going to be able to escape those demons in Jacksonville. The Jags at least cover and keep this game within 3.
Yeah, Matt Ryan throws the football like one of those skeletons in a science classroom. So I'm also going with the Jaguars because why not?
Okay.
All right, very good. Man, you sound really confident when you make your pick and then you give your reason. And Not so much. Okay.
You got to believe in something, Steehn. If you're not believing in yourself, what are you
you'll
believing
fall for
in?
anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, how about a battle from the South? Only this time the NFC South as the Buccaneers travel to New Orleans. 3-point favorites are the Bucs. Total in this game is 44. Well, speaking of running the football, Saints did a very nice job against running the football against Atlanta. And Atlanta has absolutely zero in common with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when it comes to defending the rush. I think they're going to stop the rush, and I think they're going to get more pressure on Jameis, who went without a sack against Atlanta. I think the Buccaneers maybe can punch it in from inside the 5 this time, like they were unable to do against Dallas. But Dallas, they did not stop that Buccaneers offense at all. Buccaneers look like they're in midseason form. I like the Bucs minus the 3 over the Saints.
I'm going the opposite way. The Saints looked a little clunky to start out, but they came back. And of course, they got the win over the Falcons. The Falcons can make you crazy because they have a mobile quarterback in Marcus Mariota. And the receivers are all very tall, hard to match up with. So, I don't think the Falcons are as bad as everybody thinks. And Tom Brady didn't look great against the Cowboys. And the Cowboys are flat out awful. They were just terrible. Except for Micah Parsons, they didn't look very good at all anywhere. And the Bucs just looked out of sync. And the last thing is the Saints just have the Bucs number. They just do. So I'm not calling for the outright win here, but I like the Saints plus the 3.5 points.
I agree with you loud on this one, and a lot of it is really just the Saints have the Bucs number. I've been burnt on it in the past, going with the Bucs in situations where it looked like the Bucs could win. The Saints, they played the Falcons. Not much was expected out of the Falcons. They know that you can come back and beat the Falcons in the fourth quarter. I think that the Saints are going to be a lot more focused this week. For some reason, when they play the Bucs, they take that as the biggest game of the year. I think they're going to cause some problems with Brady, as they've shown that they've been able to do in the past few meetings. They've covered against the Bucs in 7 out of the last 8 meetings, and they're getting a field goal at home here. The underdogs also covered in the last 4 meetings between these teams. I think the Saints can pull out the upset outright. So getting a field goal, even if it's at 2.5, I'd buy it to the 3 and take the Saints.
Until Jameis Winston proves me wrong and leads me astray, I'm going with the Saints every time. I love the new look. I love his new eyes. Love everything about him.
Okay, fair enough. Panthers Giants. Giants 1-point home favorites there in the Meadowlands. 43 is your total. Guys, I got to tell you, I don't really understand what Carolina was doing with Christian McCaffrey in that game. They only gave him the ball 10 times on a running play, rushed 10 times for 33 yards, no pass targets. I don't know if he's not completely healthy. I don't know if
they're saving him for the playoffs.
Kind of moved on with that. Saving him for the playoffs. Yeah, good luck. Good luck there. Meanwhile, Saquon Barkley ran roughshod over a pretty good Tennessee Titans rush defense. They were 6th in the league last year. He averaged over 5 yards a carry, even if you take away that 68-yarder. I think the Giants are going to run crazy on this Panthers defense, and I think the Panthers offense is still stuck in neutral at best. Give me the Giants as a small favorite there, minus the 1 point.
I flipped a coin on this game, honestly, and it came up Giants. So there you go.
All right. Thanks, Rocky.
I'm going to go ahead and back the Giants in this game. Not something that I feel great about. Matter of fact, the Giants last week, I don't really recommend parlays, but the Giants did ruin the last leg I had on a 50-1 9-team parlay, just in case anybody. But I do think that Saquon Barkley, similar to how the Browns ran through with Nick Chubb, I think that they're going to I think they have the coaching advantage. Saquon Barkley is going to go run through them. Baker Mayfield, he's been known to not see some open receivers from time to time. I think there's going to be a little bit of an emotional letdown after that game against Cleveland. This is kind of like you said last week. This might be a game that only a gambler can love. It's tough to expect to see the Giants go to 2-0, but I'm going to go ahead and back the New York Football Giants in this one.
I got Wan'Dale Robinson with 66 yards and a touchdown. I think he starts making a case for the best receiver in the draft. But I think I still got the Panthers winning this one.
All right. Solid.
Don't sleep on Wandale.
Don't have a bunch of nachos and just start napping. Don't let it happen. I think we've forgotten how good Saquon is because, he's either hurt or he's playing hurt. You forget how good 100% Saquon Barkley is, and we were reminded last week. So,
Yes.
How about Patriots Steelers? That's a possible playoff preview. I'm sorry, from 2015. I'm very sorry. Patriots on the road, 1.5-point favorites. Total in this game is 41. Pittsburgh, they allowed just 3 yards per carry against Cincinnati. They sacked Burrow 4 times, of course, without J.J. Watt. I mean, without that's going to be
TJ
without the other Watt. Sorry. So, he just had 1 against Cincinnati. However, Highsmith had 3. But as you know, a lot of times when one guy's getting double or triple teamed, that frees up the opportunity for the other guy. Without Watt in there, I don't know that that's going to happen. I think the Patriots will play a little better than they did last week when Jones had a QBR of 9.1 against the Dolphins. The good news is it ain't going to be good enough. I don't really know who wins this game, but I do like the total of under 41. I think offenses are going to be running through mud all day long, just figuratively, not necessarily literally. I like the under 41 here.
Mac Jones is likely to play, but he's not going to be 100%. And Mac Jones at 100% against the Dolphins was almost a 0. That team looks bad, the Patriots, especially on offense. They look disjointed. Steelers, yes, Mitch Trubisky isn't much at quarterback, but I think he's a little better than Mac Jones at that point in their career. And the Steelers' defense is very good, and I just think the Patriots look awful. So there's no way I can back the Patriots, so I'm going to have to take the Steelers at +1.5.
Yeah, I've been bigger on this Steelers team than most people. I had the Steelers win total for the season. Last week, I was the only one that picked the Steelers. I also had the Steelers on my premium card to cover. Now, not having Watt obviously is a big loss, but as Lau just said, it's tough to feel good about this Patriots team either. 2 coaches that don't really want to go against, and Tomlin and Belichick. It's tough to see Belichick fall into 0-2, but I think that the Steelers find a way with the coaching stability that they have. This is one of those situations where in almost a toss-up situation, I have to look at the long-term trends here. At least right now, the Steelers are a home underdog, and they're 19-5-2 against the spread in their last 26 as a home dog. I think the Steelers find a way again.
Najee Harris said he will be playing this weekend, and I like him. I got the Steelers. I was looking at the divisions earlier, Steehn, and I think the Steelers have a good chance of winning the North. I might be crazy, but
Well, they certainly Cincinnati didn't pick up a win, so that was one game in their favor right there. Of course, everybody else won in that division. It's going to be a long road, Rock, but I'm not going to laugh as hard at you as I would have last week. So that Steelers team looked pretty good, and Mitchell Trubisky looked acceptable.
Well, maybe I should have said it last week. Got a nice laugh out of you.
Very good. Very good. So before we go to break, I want to remind everybody the great deal we've got going over at Winners and Whiners for everybody that watched the show. We have a discount code 50% off any of your favorite handicappers picks, be it me or Loud or David or somebody else, because there's a lot of hot handicappers over there. Just use the code OUTIV50 off, OFF. That's out IV 50 off. That'll get you 50% off. That code is in the description of today's video along with the link.
We're going to break for another commercial. When we get back, Steehn and I are going to compare our Wonderlic tests, see how we did. I probably won.
Please, Will, just tell me what this is about.
5 years ago, I sent away a guy for murder. He was supposed to hang. he's free.
But that's no concern of yours. Not anymore. They've got a new marshal.
He won't be here till tomorrow. Looks like I gotta stay. He'll be here in an hour.
You're asking me to wait an hour to find out if I'm gonna be a wife or a widow. If you won't go with me now, I'll be on that train when it leaves here.
I've gotta stay.
High noon, because it's noon somewhere. It's also 5 p.m. somewhere. Yeah, 5 p.m.
So, Rock, you and I took the Wonderlic test this week. We have not revealed the results to each other to see how we did. I know for some reason you've been pretty bubbly about this. I'm dying to know, buddy. Out of 50 questions, how did you do? How many did you get right?
Do you really want to know the answer?
You know I do, Rock. The people, we talked about it last week. You know the people are waiting to hear the word.
Well, here you have it. It took me all day, but I got a 50.
You got 50?
I got a
Wait. You say it took you all day?
Yeah, it was hard.
Rocky, you know that's a time test, right? You get 12 minutes.
Oh.
Did you not know that? You can't use all. You didn't use the internet, did you?
Yeah, but do you know how hard it is to Google search all those answers in 12 minutes?
No, buddy, you can't use Google.
Why wouldn't I just use the resources at my disposal?
Well, it's designed to know how much is already in your head.
Well, that feels dumb. You wear a watch, don't you? You don't just think, oh, I know what time it is. You use the resources around you.
Oh, Rocky. Okay, so okay,
right.
buddy, you can't go around telling people you got 50 on the Wonderlic.
Why
I'm
not?
just saying. Okay, all right.
Well, what did you get, Steehn?
I got a 34, and I was pretty happy. I got all the questions right. I just didn't have time to finish them all.
Well, maybe you should have spent more time on it.
Solid advice, Rock. Solid advice. Okay, we got to get some other people involved. I think as the season goes on, we ought to get some of the office staff involved in taking the Wonderlic test and see how they do.
I'm into it.
All right, buddy. Well, stay tuned for that.
I bet they won't get 50s, though.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Rock, congratulations on your 50.
Thank you.
All right, we're back. I can't believe you took all day on the Wonderlic test. Okay. I guess we just need to have the instructions a little bit clearer next time. Fair enough. Hey, let's move on with some football, shall we? There's no test in this game. It's going to be the Falcons, the Rams. Rams at home, 10.5-point favorites, 47.5 is the total. Guys, the Rams running game was absolutely non-existent. If you're like me who had Cam Akers, congratulations. You got 0 points. Nada with Cam Akers. Atlanta, they did a decent job against the run against New Orleans, except for letting Taysom Hill get loose for a 57-yarder. I think the Falcons do enough here. I think 10.5, just a little bit too strong. Falcons keep it close. I don't think they get the win, but I think they get the cover.
I have never taken the Wonderlic test, by the way, but a census taker tried to test me once, and I ate his liver with a nice Chianti. Just letting you know. There's no test in this either for me. The Falcons scored 26 points against the Saints defense. The Saints are a good defense. I think maybe we're sleeping on the Falcons a little bit. And the Rams, they got blown out by Buffalo by 21 points, and they scored 10. Even if they double their output, that's 20 points the Rams are scoring. We all have high expectations for the Rams, but they're going to have to show me again before I believe it. I'm with you. The Falcons do just enough, and 10.5 points is too many. I'm with the Falcons plus 10.5.
If the Rams are a top 5 team, then the Bills are the best team in the history of the NFL.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Well,
Dave, what you got?
I do think that the Rams are going to show you this week. I don't think they're just going to double their production. I think they are going to triple their production, and they are going to steamroll the Atlanta Falcons in this one. For the Falcons have to build a big lead to blow it. I think that the Rams are going to be ticked off. They've had more time to prepare. The Buffalo Bills are superior to the Atlanta Falcons. I think that the Rams are going to jump over on the Falcons early, and I think they're going to cover it, obviously, with the high total. And the fact that I think that they're going to cover this, I also like over the total in this. But I like the Rams to win this game by at least 13.
I'm gonna go with the Rams as well. I know you said that we're sleeping on the Falcons, but they are the Falcons, and these are also the Rams. I think that says enough.
Yeah, you probably ought to leave it there. So you're saying we all had a big plate of nachos and we're sleeping on the Falcons, huh? Okay.
Yep. Too many nachos there, Steehn.
All right, another big spread here. This block has a lot of big spreads in it, as a matter of fact. Seahawks traveling to San Francisco on a short week to take on the Niners. Niners 9-point home favorites based off that apparently dominating performance in Chicago. 42 is the number. Well, if you can't tell by the sarcasm in my voice which way I'm going here, it's going to be the Seahawks, even though on a short week. Tough to get a read on this San Francisco offense, as it was just terrible conditions right in there in Chicago. So, it's you could take everything with a grain of salt. However, I thought Geno Smith was one of the bigger surprises of the week, as he had the third highest QBR of any quarterback at 69.1. I think this Seattle team, I don't know that they're going to win the West. That's a high mountain to climb. I think they're good enough here to stay within 9 of San Francisco. Give me the Seahawks plus the 9.
Divisional game. They're usually always tight. These teams know each other really well. I was fading the Seahawks going into the season, and I was also had huge questions about Trey Lance at quarterback for the 49ers. And those questions were not answered very well at Chicago because of the conditions. But then I watched a quarterback analyst break down a bunch of plays of Trey Lance in that game, and he was pointing out just how awful he was. He is missing open receivers. He's hesitant even when they ask him to run and do an RPO, something that he should be comfortable with. He's hitching his throws. He doesn't have any confidence. He has no confidence at all. And if Geno Smith can just be as good as he was on Monday night, then I think 9 points is too many, and I like Seattle here.
Well, I disagreed with you on the last one, Loud, but on this one, I agree with you 100% all the way. I think that the 49ers right now, based off of what they did last year, based off that defense, are just a little overrated, and these early lines are showing that. There's that perception that Trey Lance is going to be this huge upgrade over Jimmy Garoppolo right away, and it's not there. Geno Smith did very well. This is a division game. All Geno Smith has to do is be competent in this game for them to cover this spread. Right now, Geno Smith at quarterback at this moment, at this date and time, is more competent than Trey Lance. And getting the 9 in a divisional game here, I do like the under in this game as well. But the Seattle covers. It doesn't make his line is just too much love for the 49ers, Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, I got a question. How come that's back-to-back games where teams are favored by as many or more points than they scored the week before?
Right.
That's a
good point.
I know I'm new to this. This doesn't make any sense at all.
Fair
Did
question,
I make
Rock.
these lines?
Does that mean you're taking Seattle?
Yeah, I'm taking Seattle. 49ers suck. Did you guys watch that game?
Oh, terrible.
That was brutal.
They're bad. They didn't.
Absolutely brutal.
They should get revoked. They're going to the NFC Championship last year after that.
Retroactively revoking it. All right, very good.
Next game, we're talking about Bengals and Cowboys. Cowboys being the most likely team to get relegated if the NFL ever takes the advice of soccer.
Another home game for the boys. Bengals 7-point road favorites, 43.5 is the total. You know, Dallas couldn't run, they couldn't pass, and they only played decent defense once Tampa Bay got inside the red zone. But between the 20s, Tampa Bay could not be stopped. I think the Bengals have something to prove here after being very, very out of sorts in game number 1 against Pittsburgh. I like the Bengals to rebound and get the cover here. Give me Cincinnati -7.
The good news is Dallas has Micah Parsons. The bad news is he only plays on the defensive side of the ball, and they don't have anything at quarterback or really on offensive line and sort of at running back and everywhere else. So Bengals -7.5.
You know, this is I usually don't like to back a road favorite of this size when the home team is just getting thrashed and nobody is giving them a shot to win. But I got to go with the Bengals as well. I just can't back Dallas here. I actually regret taking the Cowboys last week. No Dak Prescott. And the fact that the Bengals lost that game to the Steelers, the Bengals have covered their last 5 road games. The Bengals are going to come out to, I don't think they're necessarily going to be as successful as they were last year. But in this statement against the boys, Joe Burrow and the Bengals they're not going to be stopped. They're going to cover this. Cowboys also 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games following a double-digit loss at home. So when they get embarrassed at home, they're really not that good at bouncing back. So I'm going to go with the Bengals here, and I'm actually also going to lean on the over. I think the Bengals offense has already stated, but I think that the Cowboys are going to do a little bit with Cooper Rush as well late. Maybe not a whole lot, but I think if the Cowboys get to 17 points in this one, it pushes it over.
You know, the Bengals are 7.5-point favorites. I would have taken that if it was 23.5. The Cowboys are an embarrassment to the sport. I know I've only watched this sport for like 1 week now, but I can't believe that is the product that Jerry Jones puts out there for his $3 billion arena and America's team. They're not America's team. They don't even deserve to be Texas's team. That goes to the Houston Texans. They played better than the Cowboys, and people still call them the worst team in the league. Did anybody watch the Cowboys game? They're not good. They're very bad.
Okay. Man, Rocky with the rare rant. You okay, buddy?
Yeah, I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of seeing these primetime games with the Cowboys. I don't want to watch them ever
more
again.
Nachos, brother.
No more nachos.
Yeah, exactly. All right, speaking of the Texans, it's Texas's team. According to Rocky, Houston Texans travel to the Mile High City. Bring your oxygen tank, boys. Take on the Broncos. Broncos 10-point favorites. 45 is the number. You know, this Broncos team absolutely moved the ball at will against Seattle, but unfortunately, they fumbled twice at the 1-yard line, lost both of them. This game should have been 30-17 Denver, but it wasn't. The Texans, meanwhile, even though they tied Indy, they gave up 529 yards of total offense. That is not going to happen again. They may give up 500 yards, but they're not going to tie. I think Denver rolls them up in this one. Home opener, Russ, lot of orange in that crowd, lot of noise. Broncos cover the 10.
I was throwing cold water on the Denver Broncos are going to be the best team in the AFC West, and the Broncos do the Super Bowl talk all along. I still am. I don't think they're that good, just with the addition of a great quarterback. They just don't have a lot of talent. But I can't back the Texans either. So I'm in a total quandary here. I think the Broncos win this game. I have no idea what the money line is, but I don't like the -10 because of how bad they looked. But all right, I'm going to hold my nose. I'm going to go Broncos -10 because I think the Texans actually are a really bad football team, and they have to travel to Denver. So Broncos -10. Okay, I'll go with it.
For the record, the Broncos are -450 on the money line. 450 is what you got to lay.
No thanks.
Yeah, I don't like laying that at all.
No.
I actually like the Texans here. I like the Texans here to cover the 10 points. You've got the Denver Broncos coming off of a short week with the Monday night game, very emotional game. It was more than just the fumbles. I think the coaching staff, first-time head coach, maybe he'll get it together, but to win by 10, I feel like the Seahawks, kind of how I view the 49ers right now, a little overrated in the NFC. Obviously, the Broncos have a better quarterback, but there's still a lot of issues with that offense. The Texans, like I stated last week, they play hard. I think they have the coaching advantage here. Don't necessarily love it, but getting 10 points, I just don't love this Denver team that much to lay 10 points as they're still getting in sync with the new coaching staff and quarterback. So Houston Texans plus 10.
If Pete Carroll could figure out how to shut Russell Wilson down, Lovie Smith is going to do the same thing. I got the Texans at least covering because you know what? 10 points is still 3 field goals and more. We'll see if they can hit 3 field goals.
65-yarders. They might try a lot of 65-yarders.
We'll see about that. At least they go a little bit farther in Denver.
Well, this coach might quick kick on second down. So there's that.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Rocky showing off those Wonderlic math skills. Very good. That 10 points is three field goals plus. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be right back after this.
Hi, I'm Roger Goodell. I'm the commissioner of the NFL. Between keeping 32 owners happy and negotiating TV deals and disciplining my little lambs that go astray, I got lots of stuff to do. But nothing is more important or takes up more time than signing footballs. Why? Because without my signature, it's not an official ball. And without an official ball, football is just a bunch of large men running around tackling people. It's a lot harder of a job than people think. Every time we lose a ball or donate one or Stephon Diggs punts one into the stands, I gotta sign another ball. And my wrist hurts. Who? His first touchdown pass? He can't buy his own football. Sentimental to have the ball he threw it? Fine. He can have another ball. What? Yes. Where was the net? It went over the net. Then what's the point of nets if balls can go over the net? Well, did you get a look at who caught it? I was in Philly, huh? Yeah, we'll take that L. I'll take the L on that one. What? That's tough. Exactly how sick is little Jimmy? Huh? Yeah. Well, how long did the doctor say he has? That's not very long. Just to make sure the mom or dad signed the FR 4219. That's right, yeah. Return upon death. Okay, sure, it's a tough job, but I love this job. Would I do it for free? Probably not. Would I do it for $64 million a year? I would, and I am, because I'm Roger Goodell, and I love football. And remember, next time you're at a football game and you catch a ball, for the love of God, please bring it back to me.
Did you know being an NFL referee is a part-time job? Our referees come from a variety of backgrounds and hold a lot of different jobs.
Hey man, can you pass me one beer? Here you go.
Intercepted!
Hoo-wee! Pass interference, black shirt, not the spot foul, and I get a beer too for that.
Sometimes it can be hard transitioning between the two jobs.
Hey, are these your dishes in the sink?
Oh yeah, my bad. Just let them soak.
Delay of game, slob on the couch. Give me a beer.
Hey, you know he broke his toe when he kicked the helmet?
What?
He broke his toe when he kicked the helmet.
Encroachment on the motherfucker with bad breath. I get a beer.
It's a long road, and the first step is admitting you have a problem. Hey, my name is Buffalo Johnson, and I am a referee. Don't throw shit at me. Refing on. It's the right call.
Hey, Cardinals travel to Las Vegas, where what happens in Vegas, really everybody else finds out about it. It's the Raiders -6. 51.5 is the number. Guys, I have no idea if this Cards defense is any good or not. It's like watching a welterweight fight a heavyweight and getting his butt kicked. Is he a good welterweight fighter? I have no idea. I know the Cards defense wasn't very good against Pat Mahomes, but they are not alone in that. The Raiders, on the other hand, their defense left a little bit to be desired. They did well against the run against the Chargers, but they put no pressure on the quarterback whatsoever. And this offensive line, we spoke to it earlier, that Raiders offensive line is in shambles right now. They gave up 6 sacks to San Diego. There it is. Put a buck in the jar to Los Angeles. I don't think Las Vegas is 6 points better than anybody right now. Give me the Cardinals and Kyler Murray. I think he runs crazy in this game. I'll take the Cardinals plus the 6 points.
As a Raiders fan, it's always hard for me to pick Raiders games because I gotta, get my fandom out of the way. But the really bad news for the Raiders is they were thin in the secondary to begin with, and they've lost Anthony Averett. I think that's how you say it. Maybe somebody will correct me. But they've brought in a couple of people off the street, basically, to try to patch up that secondary. And too many points. I think the Raiders have a chance to win this game in Vegas at home, but I like the Cardinals plus the 6.
I actually like the under in the game, which may sound crazy, but I do like the under in this game, as I was not impressed with either of the offenses much. Cardinals still trying to find their way without Hopkins here. Under is cashed in the last 4 times the Raiders were a favorite, and it's also 4-1 in the Cardinals' last 5 road games. As far as the side, it's tough to back either team here, but I'm going to go with the Cardinals here to cover. Like you said, I just think this is too much points for the Raiders to get, and I think that this might be a little bit of an overreaction. Yes, the Cardinals look terrible in week 1, but they played the Kansas City Chiefs. I think the Kansas City Chiefs are that good. They're better than the Raiders, better coached than the Raiders, and Arizona is going to come in with a chip on their shoulder. Not sure that Arizona wins this game, but I think that they keep it close enough to cover.
There is not a Call of Duty Double XP event this weekend, meaning Kyler Murray will be back to being Kyler Murray. So I got the Cardinals in this one.
Okay, Kyler Murray, big gamer. I know you were talking last week that you got kicked out of his Twitch chat.
I did. I got kicked out of his Twitch chat, and I was mad at him, but I got him this time.
Well, he got paid back last week. So let's take a look at a game in the NFC North. Bears traveling to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Packers -10. 43 is the total. Guys, I think Aaron Rodgers might miss his top 2 receivers just a little bit. He's 22-5 lifetime against Chicago. But against Minnesota last week, a pretty pedestrian defense, maybe a little better than average, but Rodgers averaged just 5.7 yards per attempt. I like this Bears team. They had a lot of spirit, and they were able to put together a decent performance. Again, everything was in the rain, so you really don't know exactly what you have. But I think the Bears keep it close. Packers win, but Bears get the cover. Give me Bears plus 10.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is not a guy I want to be in a foxhole with because he's kind of a showboat and front runner. I've never liked him. And the way that he's been throwing his receivers under the bus and just beep, 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 rolling back and forth over them, I think that's a locker room problem. The team has a chemistry problem. He's a prima donna. And I like the Bears here. I think the Bears put up a good fight against the 49ers, even though the 49ers stink. And it's just the points. 10 points is just too many. Give me the Bears.
Well, last year, I should say, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers looked pretty bad week 1.
Against New Orleans. Yep. I know where you're going.
And then you came out, beat the Lions by 18. The Minnesota Vikings are not the Bears. I liked the Bears last week. I don't like them this week. Not to pick on Trey Lance, as we said before, long-term may be very good. Right now, not in the same league as Aaron Rodgers. The Bears, they felt good about that win. They were excited. They're feeling good about themselves. This is still a bad team. The Packers are coming in with a chip on their shoulders. Aaron Rodgers, love him or hate him, absolutely hates. Well, he actually owns the Chicago Bears, I should say. The Packers are going to send a message. They're going to cover the 10 points. I like Green Bay in this game by 2 touchdowns, as I just don't see how the Bears are going to score. Justin Fields I just don't see how they're going to score.
This offseason, Aaron Rodgers talked a lot about how psychedelics helped him. But given his performance on Sunday, I'd say that Aaron Rodgers did more of the anti-drug campaign than Dare did in 20 years. I got the Bears in this one also.
Okay, very good. David out on the island there with the Packers. All right, moving on to my favorite Monday night of the year when we get not one but 2 Monday night games. Bum, 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 bum. Ba-dum, ba-dum. How about Titans, Bills? Ooh, there's an AFC Championship game possible preview. Bills, 9.5-point favorites there in Orchard Park. 49.5 is the total. Well, we talked about 2 teams that looked really good last week. Kansas City was one of them, and Buffalo was the other. This Bills team absolutely stoned the LA rushing game. We talked about that. We talked about Cam Akers. They gave up just 52 yards on 18 carries. If the Titans can't run, do we really trust Tannehill and this subpar receiving core? That's what's known as a rhetorical question, because the answer is obvious. The Titans, they are not a team that's built to play from behind. The Bills get out early and pound them into submission. Give me Buffalo minus the 9.5.
I'll make this one easy. Bills minus whatever. Next.
Yeah. You really took the words out of my mouth, Scott. I'd like to add something different to this, but the Titans' only chance, they have to get ahead early running the ball. I don't see that happening. Josh Allen and the Bills get out a couple scores and they start forcing Ryan Tannehill to throw. This game, it could get ugly. When you look at a team that led the AFC last year, getting 9.5 points, it may look like the Titans are a good play here, but they're not. They're not. It's the Buffalo Bills.
Titans have one of the worst defenses ever, and the Bills have one of the best offenses ever. So I think it's obvious that I'm going to go with the Titans.
Very good, sir. And finally, the last game on the card, the second of the Monday night games, it is the Minnesota Vikings at the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles 1.5-point home favorites. 51.5 is the total. Guys, you might as well call this the Iron Pyrite Bowl, because I think one of these teams, at least one of these teams, quite possibly, are fool's gold. Both had great performances in week 1. The Vikings, they look like they've turned it around. The defense took a step up against Green Bay, probably a couple steps up. Offense still looked very good. The Eagles, they did their thing. So we'll see. We shall see. Jalen Hurts still didn't have a great game. Eagles were able to win in spite of that. They started to coast with the big lead. They let Detroit back in it. I don't know if we can take a lot away from the fact that they didn't cover, because they had that game well in hand. The Vikings, they played almost a perfect game against Green Bay. I don't know that they can repeat on the road. This is probably the toughest game on the board for me. I think these two teams are very similar. I'll take the home team on Monday night to give maybe that little bit of just that extra thing. I'll take the Eagles minus the 1.5, and I do like the over there as well, the 51.5.
Yeah, the Vikings look great. Justin Jefferson, he may still be running somewhere. Apparently, he was wearing the invisible Hobbit ring because the defense of the Green Bay Packers apparently never saw him because he was so wide open. But in any case, the Eagles ran the ball very well. That is something that they can continue to do. And the Vikings, just every time you think they've got it right, they step right in a pile of you-know-what. And so that's exactly what I think happens here is the Vikings go to the Eagles. I'm not doing any points here. I'm taking the Eagles on the money line minus 140. That's my play.
My favorite play in this game is actually going to be the over. Side is a little bit tough, but I actually like the Minnesota Vikings in this game. I do think that their defense is well ahead of where the Eagles are right now. This is really a tough one, but I do like the Minnesota Vikings. The trends on this are kind of bad on both sides, as the Vikings usually don't do well in week 2, but neither do the Eagles. So I'm going to go ahead and I like the over in this game, and I'm going to go ahead and lean on the Minnesota Vikings to get the win outright.
I also have the Vikings. I think that week 1 win against the Packers is a lot for them, morale-wise, to look and see that the North is up for the taking. I think they're going to use that momentum, come back around, and absolutely destroy the Eagles.
All right, fair enough, Rock. A lot more concise this week in your picks. I think everybody appreciates. Very good.
Yeah.
Less is more.
Less is more.
Rocky, you got any final words before we get out of here?
You know, I beat you in the Wonder League test. I'll probably beat you in picks this week too. So,
all right, very good. There he is, guys. It's Rocky Foré. Once again, I want to thank everybody for stopping by. Loud, where can we find you?
I'm Loud Esmond, and of course, you can see me at Winners and Winers, where you get my videos and also the available premium picks.
All right, very good. And David, where can we find your stuff?
You can find me on the expert section of Winners and Winers for my best bets each week. Also have free articles over on winnersandwiners.com. I went 4-1 in the NFL last week, 8-3 in college football on the season. And I know you can throw out numbers sometimes. There's favorites, there's underdogs, but the easiest way to understand it, I know there's 50-unit plays and 100-unit plays sometimes that you'll hear out there. But over at Winners and Winers, just looking at one $100 unit per game since the beginning of July, people following my picks are up over $3,000 and up over $1,600 in the last 30 days, just with one $100 bet a game. I can't say I'm going to make you rich off of $25 bets per game, but long-term consistency and will definitely build your bankroll.
All right, very good. Make sure you check out David over there. I don't think there's any expert that's been hotter over the last couple of months. Find him, like you said, in the expert section at winnersandwiners.com. You can find my picks over there as well. Of course, Dave and I do daily videos. And if you want to get any of the experts' picks, once again, 50% off just for watching our video today. Kind of a thank you to everybody that did that. The code is OUTIV50 OFF. That's out IV. 50% off, or out 4 if you're like Roman numerals, but it is out IV. So make sure you take advantage of that code. Rock, where can we find you?
You can usually find me behind a Walmart lighting off bottle rockets.
Fair enough. Look for Rocky behind your local Walmart, likely lighting off bottle rockets. And I am, once again, Scott the Steamroller Steehn. I appreciate everybody stopping by today. Hope you enjoyed the show. We'll be back next week and do it once again. I have a couple new guests. We'll have the guys from the Just Parlay show, Chris King and Scott Reichel. But until then, for all of us, thanks for stopping by. Good luck on all your plays, and we'll see you next week.
11th U.S. President James K. Polk.
You can call me Jimmy K.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
It's not working?
It's not working.
Not even a little bit?
No, there's this person in modern times, and her name's Kim Kardashian, and it's super close to her nickname, Kimmy K.
No one calls her that.
I do.
Fine, whatever. I come bearing news. The Queen has passed.
Okay.
You don't understand. There's an opening for Queen now.
Yeah. Let Adam Lambert have it.
No, not that position. Queen of England.
Well, James, I'm not British and I'm not royal.
Oh, that doesn't matter. If you feel that God wants you to take over a position or a large chunk of land, you can just do it.
Really?
Yeah, it's called Manifest Destiny, and it hurts nobody.
You mean I could just declare myself queen and then be queen?
You might have a few people try to fight you on it, but yeah, basically.
I've got work to do.
Are you having a baby? Are you wanting to let your family and friends know your future child's gender in a unique way, but you're tired of seeing baseball pitches and cakes, and other lame ways to reveal your future child's gender? Well, that's what we here at genderreveals.com are for. We will set you up in a surprising way to reveal your child's gender. You'll never know when it's gonna happen. It could be in the middle of a work meeting when all of a sudden your boss goes to a pink slide. That's a girl!
Yay!
Or maybe your cousin Isaiah McKenzie just scored a touchdown against the Los Angeles Rams.
All
Or
right!
maybe you just got in a car accident with a guy on his way to a Bigfoot convention and he claims it wasn't his fault he hit you because he was listening to the Cha-Cha Slide and the song said slide to the right. So he drove his car to the right, and before you can argue that that's not a good excuse for crashing your car, he drives away without leaving his insurance. So you jump back in the car and start chasing him down, riding down the road, muttering under your breath how bad of a driver he is. But before you realize you're going too fast, a cop pulls up behind you, but you're so worried about getting justice on the guy that hit you that you don't pull over and instead just throw your registration and license out the window. And then you get to Albuquerque where the Bigfoot convention is happening, and you confront the guy in the parking lot, but he just keeps saying, I didn't hit you, I didn't hit you, I didn't hit you, while doing the Cha-Cha Slide wearing a Bigfoot costume, and you get more and more frustrated at him, but he keeps saying, I didn't hit you, I didn't hit you. So you say, well, I'm gonna hit you, and you punch him in the face, but then his face is gone, and it's just a balloon that pops blue, and all your family and friends are there in the parking lot at the Bigfoot convention in Albuquerque to celebrate with you, and that was us at genderreveals.com telling you are having a boy.
Yay!
You know what I want? A really cool queen for the people.
Well, you know what? You're in luck, because the new Queen of England is standing right in front of you.
Who, that guy over there?
No, silly.
Wait, you.
Yes, me, Rocky Foré. I'm the new Queen of England, and unlike the last one, I'm actually cool.
Like, name one cool thing that you've done.
I flipped a water bottle on top of a basketball rim.
That is pretty cool.
Paid for by the committee to completely upend the entire royal family by replacing them with an utter moron who thinks he can just declare himself queen because he claimed the ghost of a mediocre one-term president appeared to him and told him he could.
My name is Rocky Foré, and I approve this message.
But like, isn't that the American flag though?
No, it's the British flag.
It's definitely not the British flag.
I think I would know the British flag. I am the queen.
Bro, it's the American flag, but like backwards.
Will you just leave it the f*** alone?